President William Ruto has been a man under siege 8 years since his re-election on a joint ticket with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto's powers have been clipped, rendering him a stranger in the very government he helped come into power. His greatest opponent and ODM leader Raila Odinga's narrative to probe Ruto for corruption allegations in the fight against corruption have worsened the DP's chances at clinching the top seat next year. But as Musa Salana reports, the play the victim strategy employed by DP Ruto and his allies is a meticulous move that could harvest votes for Ruto, the powerless deputy.
In January 2013, under the tag Uhuru, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto became a national sensation. From driving in caravans in Jubilee branded merchandise to matching ties, the duo were Kenya's presidential dream team. 8 years later, the Uhuru marriage has collapsed, their Jubilee house deconstructed, and President Kenyatta has found himself a new suitor, opposition leader Raila Odinga.
Jubilee has made a conscious decision without any consultation at the level of the party leader to move to ODM. They are free to do so. We have made a conscious decision to move to UDA. We are free to do so. If Jubilee decides to rebrand itself and change the party colors and change the name of Jubilee, it is consistent with the behavior of Jubilee. Jubilee left a long time ago, they are in ODM. All they will be doing is confirming where they belong.
The party that was called Jubilee is not a party that is there currently. It is a former party, it is a past party, it is part of the history of this country as we talk. Whether they rebrand into green, whether they remove red and they put brown, it is their business.
Deputy President William Ruto's woes began in 2018 when President Kenyatta shook hands with Odinga on the stairs of Harambee House to end the opposition's weekly protest to boycott Jubilee's administration, and which had crippled Kenyatta's second term. According to Ruto's allies, the handshake effect had a toll on his relationship with Kenyatta, and that Ruto was sidelined in his own government, rendering him useless.
Ruto was stripped of his duties. They were given to Raila Odinga and Fred Matiang'i, and we told them to carry on. Ruto has no power in government in terms of executive function, but in terms of the power of the people, the guy is good, he is strong. And you know, power comes from the people.
The honorable thing, if I were him, you resign, because the president has no power to fire him. If you feel you have been rendered relevant and you still want to be an influential leader in the country, just resign and go away and do your thing, because you remain there, you still held responsible. But as long as you are shouting in the street that you have been sidelined, but you are still there, you say I'll stay put, then you are not honest.
So long as you are a deputy, then it means there is somebody who is above you. You are not the top. And you must behave like a deputy. Actually, if you look at the history of countries and the history of the political kind of formations, anybody who is a deputy is supposed to be not only submissive, but supposed to be loyal to the principle.
Sidelined and powerless, Ruto and his allies have disassociated themselves with the Jubilee administration failures. Since taking office, the Jubilee administration has seen billions of taxpayers' money swindled and lost to corruption. Although Ruto has successfully managed to endear himself with voters through his hustler narrative, his past with graft could haunt him, with his fierce competitor Raila Odinga pushing hard Ruto's alleged involvement in corruption.
Kuna wengine wanasema sisi bado tunasubiri tu. Unajua serikali itabadilika. Akikuja hapa Narok, anakwenda kwa gavana, anaita gavana wa rafiki yangu. Sasa namwambia gavana, hiyo ofisi inakuja, badala kusema nyang'ana, yeye anasema
Others have accused us of carrying money in sacks to church. But we will not stop. We are looking for the day when we will not be taking thousands, when we will not be taking millions. We are looking for the day when we will take billions to church. And I want to ask our friends to understand us. Please, we were not people were it not for God. We didn't have godfathers. We only have God the Father.
This could be a perception. It could be the truth. But the truth of the matter is, if you ask any Kenyan out there who William Ruto is, matters corruption, I don't think he will be ranking very low from the top. I don't think so. It might be a perception, it might be the truth, but I don't think really he's the right candidate to say, I'll fight corruption. So if you are saying you really want to fight corruption, you must also be able to be seen to be against corruption.
He's still the deputy president. He has not resigned that position. He still occupies and enjoys all the privileges of government. So he can still use his influence through the same channels, the cabinet or his office, and bring out these issues, who is playing what role and who is actually funding corruption in the country. Who are these corrupt leaders whom he should name and give the names, so that we know that he is actually against certain positions held in the government. Whatever he's saying now, I think is more of playing politics than trying to take responsibility.
According to pundits, Ruto's political ambitions to succeed Kenyatta next year has cost him dearly. While his political foes have called for his resignation, the Ruto camp has cried foul of Odinga's involvement in the affairs of Jubilee administration. Sources private to Ruto's presidential aspirations, however, argue this strategy could get Ruto the numbers to State House next year.
Everybody wants to be the president, but I think for me the timing, because it's a sitting president, this is the time to support the president to deliver. And once he's out of office, then you take over. But it's like you are destabilizing the president when he wants to achieve his agenda for the country. And that means you're actually killing what I would call the president's legacy. And so, so long as you attempt to kill a sitting president's legacy, then automatically you won't have it easy. It will not be smooth.
I think he's a very cunning politician. He knows when he plays victim, Kenyans will adhere to him, and they'll think that the deputy president has been elbowed out of government, and now there are people who are lining their pockets.
With less than a year to the 2022 polls, the political arena is expected to get messy in the next few months, with politicians washing their dirty linen in public. Musa Salah, TV 47.
And that detailed report